This is a movie about traveling. It's about experiencing a different culture. It's a movie about exploring a new city. This movie is about my trip to London. The trip to London was a school trip. Around 80 people of our school came with us. That's our school right there. The bus started on June 12, 2016 at 8:34 p.m. My partner for the 17-hour bus ride was my best friend Anna. She was sitting next to me in the bus. The bus driver had to take a break every 3 hours, so our first stop was a gas station somewhere in the west of Germany. It was completely stuffed with students. Then we drove for another 3 hours and stopped at another gas station somewhere in Belgium. 1.5 hours later, we did our third and last stop at another gas station, again somewhere in Belgium. I've never been to Belgium. We finally arrived at Calais Harbour in the very north of France, waiting for our ferry. Alright, it is 5 minutes before 9. Don't mind my ridiculous hair and confusion here. We had just spent 13 hours in the bus without sleeping a single second. And we are in the very north of France, and we just checked in at the border control, checked our passports, and now we're heading on the ferry with our bus to head over to London. That one, that's our bus. The next 2 hours we sat on the ferry to get to Dover. I had a £3.49 chocolate caramel fudge cake for breakfast. Everything in the UK is expensive. We're on the ferry. Tired as hell. What I love the most about traveling is not only seeing tons of new places, but also meeting new people. This is Costaviano, an Italian truck driver. He started talking to me because of my camera, asked me for a picture, and gave me 2 cigarettes in exchange. Eventually, we kept talking for another 10 minutes. By around 11 o'clock in the morning, we made it to Dover, which is at the very south coast of England. Of course, the first thing we would see was rain. 2 hours later, we finally arrived in London and checked out Greenwich Park, where I met some squirrels, and the beautiful skyline of London. We then did a little sightseeing on a boat trip on River Thames. Seeing London from this point of view was great. In the afternoon we had time to walk around and check out the city. Back at the bus. It's 5 after 5 and we are heading to our families now. Yep, you heard that right. We stayed at host families in groups of 4 and had to be back there every evening by around 7. And that was a first day in London. On our second day, we had another sightseeing tour, this time on our bus. It lasted nearly 5 hours and was boring as hell.
Please don't ask me about football. I don't like football anymore now. Our team, as usual, is not doing very well. No Russians on board, are there? Oh, good. Oh, good. Why have we got one Russian on board?
We only left the bus once to see Buckingham Palace. Other than that, we were just stuck in traffic, watching rain. When we finally got off the bus, we were allowed to walk around by ourselves, so we tried out the metro. We ended up in a very, let's say, interesting part of the town. We wanted to explore and walk around, but then we got hit by major rain. So instead, we had some weird lunch and some awesome coffee. At the end of the day, the traffic got so bad that it took us 3 hours to get back to our families with our bus. And that was pretty much day 2. On our third day, we went to visit Windsor Castle. Alright, this is the line for the Windsor Castle. Look at this. That is just ridiculous. Everything there looked pretty amazing, except there were just way too many tourists. I was also pretty amazed by the self-service supermarket we found. After that, we went to the Harry Potter studios. It was an amazing experience, but see for yourself.
on your glasses.
After that long day, we went back home to our families. And that pretty much sums up day 3. Goodbye, room. On our 4th and last day, we had to pack our stuff and leave our families. Then we got to the buses, went to central London, and then we continued our trip by going with the metro. Our last plan on the list was to visit the Globe Theatre. And there it was. Then we had a few hours to kill before we left the city. We decided to go back to the city and grab some lunch first. We saw a lot of cool architecture and went to Chinatown. The city was packed. Shopping.
Ich fühle, das ist aber so ein bisschen so zu peachy. Damit kann ich nicht arbeiten, leider.
Then we met some Hare Krishnas and went back to the metro. We are at some weird station right now, and we are heading to the London Eye now. And there was the famous London Eye. Is that cool? The view up there was just incredible. Shortly before we left, we watched some skaters. And then suddenly, while waiting on our buses, we saw this charity race. What an awesome ending to our trip. Back at the bus, and off we go. Around midnight we went on the ferry. Back to the bus. And back in Germany. the movie about my trip to London.